Hello, this is Mike Celestino with Laughing Place, and I'm very excited to open up this brand new Lego Star Wars set. It's called Darth Vader's Castle. It's set number 75251. It's got 1,060 pieces, and it just came out this week. I just received it in the mail like 2 days ago, and I finally have a chance now to sit down, open it up, and build it. And we're going to do a quick build and review here for you. I'm very excited for this set. This location was first featured in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It's Darth Vader's castle on the planet Mustafar. It was introduced in Rogue One, but it's been featured in a few other Star Wars media since then, especially in the comics. If you read the current Darth Vader comic book, right now there's a story going on about how the castle was conceived of and built, so that's pretty cool. And it comes with these 5 minifigures. You've got Darth Vader, of course, and then you've got an alternate version of Darth Vader to use in the Bacta tank when he's kind of healing up in between wearing the suit. There's 2 Royal Imperial Guards, and then an Imperial transport pilot with the kind of blue highlights there. So we'll see those when we open up the box. And then on the back of the box here, it kind of details everything that we're going to see when we have the completed set on the back side there, and all the cool little features that we'll go through after we've built it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do here is open up the box and just kind of dump out the contents. See what's inside. All right, we've got 1, 10, 7, 2, 9, 8, 4, 3, 6. 10 steps, 1 instruction manual, the instruction manual, and 1 sticker sheet that we'll need to complete this set. 10 individual bags of pieces. I do also want to mention this is an Amazon exclusive right now, though it will be available on lego.com starting December 1st. So I've got my first bag of pieces ready to go and my instruction manual here, and we're going to go into fast motion and build this thing. Here we go. Okay, and here is the finished model. That's what it looks like after it's complete. And I really, really like the look of this set. I think it's a little bit smaller than I was anticipating based on the photos on the box, but I do really like the design. I really love this lava feature coming out of the center here. And of course this matches the design of this location in the movie Rogue One and in the Void Secrets of the Empire. If you played that hyper reality thing, you'll notice that this was in that too, and in the comics lately that I mentioned before. We're going to spin this around here and take a look at the back at some of the features here. And I would say I really like about 90% of this. And there's one thing that I don't like about it. We'll get into that in a minute. And we'll start at the top here. There's a kind of a gunner station for this, what they're calling the Imperial Transport Pilot. First, let's take a look at this minifigure. It's got that blue highlighting there, and kind of looks like the Rogue One stormtroopers a little bit. The guys who drive the tanks, the hover tanks on Jeddah. But this is supposed to be kind of a gunner station to fire this blaster, and this is a fireable blaster. If you press this down, it shoots the little red stud out of here. I'll show you that in a minute. But that's where this guy's supposed to hang out up top here, but you can put him wherever. And then one level down here, this is Darth Vader's kind of rejuvenation pod and communication area. And there's like a little hologram of Emperor Palpatine, which is cool. Let me spin this around, we can get better light in there. So this is where he talks to the Emperor while he's sitting in his pod. And this lifts up there, and we can take the lightsaber off of Vader, and we'll sit him down inside this pod. And just like in The Empire Strikes Back, the top part of the pod comes down, and these little claws kind of close in around Vader as he's sitting in there. If you can see that. A lot of black pieces in this set, which matches with the motif of Darth Vader. And then that can lift up, and you can see Vader in there as well. And this is the Vader minifigure that comes with the set, and it's pretty much the same as the ones that you would get in an average Star Wars Lego set these days. It's got the nice cloth cape that they've been using lately. It's got the little under the chin piece here, and then if you spin him around, you can see the back side of his head. This is how you would have seen his head in Return of the Jedi after Luke helps him take his mask off, right? And then you got the top part of the helmet there, and it's Darth Vader. Very recognizable, iconic character from Star Wars. One more level down, and this is the Bacta tank area that is in the movie Rogue One. And it's got two Imperial Guards, and these have been released plenty of times in Lego before. Front side, they've got their Force pikes here. And this is what the guards look like from the back. The nice red cloth capes. The cape actually has a different, darker crimson color on the inside than it does on the back side. So that's cool. Well, let's get them out of the way here because I want to show you Vader. This is a different representation of Darth Vader in minifigure form inside the back-to-tank pod there. There's also a control panel. If you look in there, zoom in on that a little bit. That's a sticker on there. Now I know a lot of LEGO fans would prefer printed pieces to stickers, and I kind of agree with that because I don't have the steadiest hands, unfortunately, and I always feel like I put the stickers on crooked, but I did okay with this set. Oops, I just knocked the back-to-tank loose. I'm trying to get my fingers in there to lift up. There we go. So that, the front half of the back-to-tank lifts up and you can take out this minifigure. Oop. And this is representative of Vader without the suit on. Obviously he needs the suit to live and breathe, and it protects him. You know, he lost most of his limbs and got badly injured in the fight with Obi-Wan Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith Episode 3. And ever since then he needs the suit to live, but he does take it off to go into the back-to-tank, which heals him as much as it can. Though obviously it can't heal him all the way, so he'll need the suit to live for the rest of his life until he dies in Return of the Jedi. Spoilers. But yeah, that's a cool figure to have. Vader outside of the suit. And I love this room because you can see, I'm going to take this figure out of the way, but you can see that translucent red bricks from the other side kind of let the light through, and it's very eerie and evocative. I also like the detailing. These are stickers too here, but there's these very Star Wars-esque, obviously we're in Star Wars, so it makes sense that they're there, but the lights running alongside the side of the doorway there. And this is a doorway that Vader goes through in the movie Rogue One. It just kind of opens up on a hinge there. So that's the door to get in from the outside. There's also stairs going up to this platform here. So you can walk around kind of the outer edge of the castle, or you can just open the door and go into the back-to-tank room. Unfortunately, there's no way to get up from this room to this room to this room. Kind of have to use your imagination there, or assume that Vader is just kind of jumping or flying up, which he can do because he's got the crazy force powers. I don't know how this guy gets up here, but again, it's imagination for that element, and I'm mostly really happy with that. And then on the lower level, first let's talk about this side here. There is this really cool little altar with all these kind of Sith hieroglyphics, I would call them, and I assume what this is a Sith holocron. And if you're into Star Wars, you know what a holocron is, kind of how the Jedi Order and the Sith keep their records. So basically you would store all your memories and information and basically things you want to pass down in the next generation of Jedi or Sith in these holocrons, and future Jedi or Sith can access them by listening to your thoughts and memories and all the data that you want to pass down. So I really like that detail, and it has these two neat little statues. They're called, I think, nano figures in the LEGO world, and they kind of represent, I assume, some ancient Sith there guarding this holocron. Now there's also a secret compartment here that opens up, and inside there is the hilt of a lightsaber, and that partners with something else that's on the other side. So we'll close that up and we'll spin this around to take a look at the right, or I guess the left side if you're looking at the front, the right side if you're looking at the back. Oh, this kind of came out of here, but this is a little kind of a charging station for this little, I believe this is supposed to represent kind of a mouse droid who comes out of that little hole. He can live in here, and then when he needs to run a task or something, he just comes out like that and rolls around. Just a nice little droid made of about, I think, 6 different pieces. And he's supposed to live in that little slot. And then there's some ammo. I think that's supposed to represent ammo storage, because these are just made up of stacks of these little red translucent studs that can be used to fire out of the turret at the top of the castle. And then there's another hidden compartment that we can open right here, and inside here, this goes with the lightsaber handle, the hilt on the other side, to become a working lightsaber, because it's a kyber crystal hidden at the bottom of Vader's castle here. So one of my minor complaints, I do really like this set overall, but I don't love when LEGO uses these. This is called a burp. If you talk to adult fans of LEGO, they'll call this a big ugly rock piece, where it's just a big chunk of rock. You can add little detailing to it, but it's mostly pre-made, pre-molded rock area. So that's a burp, and it kind of, to me, kind of takes away from the customizability of these LEGO sets. And there's one of those on each side, and I think it looks fine overall when you consider how it contributes to the shape of the overall set. But if you were to break it down, this whole big chunk right here is just pretty much just one piece with little detailing added. And that, to me, that's not really what LEGO is supposed to be about. And then my other complaint about this set, like I said, I like it. For the most part, I like this set quite a bit. But here at the very bottom, we have Darth Vader's AdvancedTIE Fighter in the smallest scale possible to fit the minifigure inside. Now, I kind of get why they do this, because you have a big Darth Vader themed playset. You want to include Darth Vader's ship so he can fly around, so kids can swoosh around a spaceship with the minifigure, the Darth Vader minifigure inside. But this is so small. I mean, it kind of looks big when I get right up next to it compared to the minifigure, but it's tiny compared to what the scale should actually be. Should be like 3 or 4 times the size of this. And they did the same thing. I complained about the same thing if you go back and watch my video about the Bespin Cloud City set. They made a Slave 1 ship in the same scale, and the twin pod cloud car they did the same way, where you can open this up, you can sit Darth Vader inside of it. Technically, he kind of fits in here, right? And that's mostly what you want. And you close it up, and he's in there. You can fly it around. Here's the way the wing looks on the side, the back, other side wing. And he's in there, but you notice something odd? What's the first thing that jumps out at you here? You can't see through the cockpit window. Darth Vader can't see out through the cockpit of this ship. He's flying completely blind. If you've seen Star Wars, just watch the first Star Wars movie, Episode 4, A New Hope. He can see out of this window to fly and fire. These bolts can fire. Okay, so you can press these switches and these... here, I'll show you how this fires. Okay. I'll hunt for those later, but yeah, he's just in there and he can't see out. That bugs me. Here's what I would prefer. Like I said this last time with the Cloud City set. Leave this out completely. Don't need the ship, to me. As a collector, even as a kid, I wouldn't want this because I prefer the ships to be closer to scale, to minifigure scale. And this fits the minifigure inside of it, but it's not big enough to represent what the TIE Advanced actually is. Doesn't need to be in the set. Add a little bit more detailing instead if you're worried about the piece count or how expensive this set is. I would say put in, I'd rather have more, another room or, you know, like I said, a way for the characters to move up and down. This is kind of cool. There's this chamber where you're supposed to store the ship underneath the castle, and I like, you know, these are stickers alongside here, but I like the detailing on that. I think what I will do, if I ever have the time to kind of expand on this, is I'll put my own base plate here, and then put in some lava maybe, or just another chamber for something else to happen, rather than this I'll probably just kind of salvage for parts and do something else with, because I am not interested in having the ship. I don't see the point of having the ship if it's this small. I don't get it. I don't understand why. I don't know. I'm not sure the reasoning behind that. I always say with Star Wars Lego that I am happy when they do play sets instead of ships, because there's so many ships in Star Wars, and that's fine, but I think the minifigures need a place to live and breathe and have their adventures that's not just flying around in the ship. So I'm thrilled that they're making stuff like this. Love the playset aspect of it. Don't need the ship. That's my thought on that, and that's probably nitpicky and nerdy and stuff, but that's how I feel. So yeah, it's a really cool set. I love the design of the castle itself. Spinning back around here. And I think it's going to look great on my shelf, just like this. But like I said, I might expand the base a little bit, put a little bit more lava. This is really cool, really attractive. And don't love that. Let's take a look at the minifigures all together. Here's all 5 minifigures that come in this set. It's a good assortment. My favorite one, like I said, is this one in the middle here, Darth Vader. Outside of his suit, because you don't see that very often. I haven't had that figure before. Not sure if it has even existed before, but that's pretty cool. And I think it could have used one more, and if I had to add one more, it would have been Director Krennic, who got to visit this location in Rogue One. And I don't have that minifigure. I didn't get him when the Rogue One wave was coming out. Or maybe that priest that like goes and wakes up Darth Vader from the back to tank. That would have been cool too. So yeah, 1 or 2 more minifigures couldn't have hurt. But yeah, I love them. I think they all look cool. And yeah, that's Darth Vader's castle. It's set number 75251 from Lego Star Wars, and I mostly really like it. I think it's a good playset and looks really cool just for collectors. And other than my minor complaints, I highly recommend picking this up if you're a Star Wars fan, if you're a Lego fan. And to close out this review, we're just going to fire this turret right into the camera like I promised we would. This is Mike Celestino from Laughing Place. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.